question 11 of the Maths Additional Paper 2019. So we're looking at sine graphs for this one, and I don't want you to be afraid from this question because it does look a little bit scary. So it's telling us it wants the values from 0 to 360. Now, whenever you're looking at any types of graphs, you tend to have the key points of the fact that you want 0. The next one would be 90 degrees, 180 degrees, 270 degrees, and 360. They're usually the ones that we focus on. Now, a little hack here. See where that angle is x, we just put in those values. So the angle goes in there, and it'll be in brackets. So if we type the first one into our calculator, so at 0, all I'm doing is putting -5 sine 0, close my brackets, and plus 7. That gives me an answer 7. Okay, I'm not going to do anything in my graph yet because I don't know how high it's going to go, but I could work it out. But I'm just going to follow the way that I would do it if I was in an exam and I was unsure. So again, putting in the next one, which is 90, and that gives me the value of 2. Going back through in your calculator, 180, and that gives me 7. So I can already see there's the lower loop by there that now that's happened. And the next one, 270 going in, that gives me 12. So there we go, going up towards now the maximum value. And then the last one, 360, which gives me 7. Now, because it's a sketch, it's not asking us to do it perfectly. However, I do just mark out my key points. So 90, 180, 270, and 360. So 270 was my highest point, so that was my 12 mark. 90 was my lowest point, which was about 2. So I might do 2, 5, and then 12. That'll do. So at 0, I just realised I've written 5 instead of 7. Might space it out a little bit better as well. So we've got 2 down here, then 7, and then 12. It's because I'm going up in 5, so I think that's why I did that. So drawing my graph, I'm going to use a different colour just so you can see what I've done. So 0, it was 7, so I just plot that point there. Plot another point. Don't technically get marked down if you don't plot the points and you just draw it. But I think it's important to do that. And 270 goes up to 12. Yours will probably be a bit more clearer than mine because I'm trying to do it on a computer, which is always fun to do. And it's gone from 0 to 360. But this is going to be the interesting part, drawing this curve. Oh, it's not amazing, but it'll do. There we go. So that is my first question done. So it was 3 marks. So I've given loads of different points there. It's really important that you give as many as you can and think about the important ones that we think of. My labels are already I've labeled my values on my axes, which is really also another thing that the questions ask for. And I've covered the range. So next point, it says, what's your max and what's your min value? So your max is the maximum point of the curve, which we can see here happens at 12, and that is a really bad 12. Getting entertainment from my videos. And then your minimum point, that's going to be the lowest your graph's going to be going. So we can see here, the lowest it actually goes is to the 2. So there we go. And let's have a look. So it's 4 marks for us to get. I've moved myself again. So the first one, correct shaped graph with the values of 0, 180, and 360. So we've done more than enough. So showing that the 2, the 7, and the 12, as long as they were there, Good. And then it basically says intention for approximately those values, which is what we've also shown. So we've made sure we've got all the points. For say you didn't do all the points, but you had 2 of 3, then you got 1 mark and showing the bullet points, but never joined, or joined but with a straight line. So you've got to make sure it's curved. I know mine doesn't look essentially curved, but it is curved compared to what a straight line is. So that's there, 3 points there. And the last one, so you got 1 mark for this then. So the maximum value of 12 and the minimum value of 2. And all I've done is read that from my graph, which I'd already done the previous working from the first one. And there we go, 4 marks for that. Hope this made it a little bit simpler. So all I'm doing, inputting the angle as I go through, using my key points up to 360. If you get stuck on remembering them, think about your compass values, that might help, or just think in general, we tend to work with 90, 180 and 360. We don't tend to work with 270 that much, but you do work with the other 3. And that's all you seem to need anyway. And all done for this one.